This is Singapore during Christmas. And this is Singapore during Lunar New Year. In just a span of a month, Singapore's 170 shopping malls must completely transform. Shopping districts trade winter wonderlands for Lunar New Year spectacle. And it all has to happen while the city stays open for business. It takes months of planning and just days of execution. From luxury malls to neighborhood supermarkets, this is how Singapore changes costumes overnight. Singapore celebrates multiple major festivals throughout the year. Each one transforms the city's visual landscape, celebrating our diversity. But two major celebrations sit back to back: Christmas in December and Lunar New Year in February. That leaves roughly 1 month for a complete changeover. The work happens in narrow windows, overnight shifts, early mornings, the quiet hours before opening, and most of us never see it happen. Iron Orchard, one of Singapore's flagship malls on Orchard Road, spanning over 600,000 square feet of retail space across multiple levels. It's after hours, just 4 days after Christmas, and the changeover begins. The team races to complete as much as they can before the mall reopens. With this tight window, the team has to get the entire mall fully transformed in a few days.
Our team at InDesign Creations, we are a design and build organization. I oversee the strategic planning and client coordination for Iron Orchard's festive installations.
A team of 7 workers has the job of removing every piece of Christmas decoration.
The main logistical challenges includes tight overnight installation windows, also in terms of managing the high pedestrian traffic.
700 meters of garlands across 5 levels. They work floor by floor. Garlands come down, get loaded into trolleys, and transferred to trucks. The changeover isn't just happening at major malls. Across Singapore, smaller retailers are doing the same thing on their own scale. La Petite Society is a children's clothing brand with stores across the island. For them, Lunar New Year is their biggest season of the year. At their Sentosa outlet, creative director Robin Liang and her team are refreshing the entire store for the holiday rush.
Chinese New Year overlaps with Christmas, so it's always a little bit of a struggle between which one do we feature more of. Right after Christmas, the Chinese New Year collection takes center stage. We're going to do a big swap around.
Though their scale is smaller, they face different challenges.
I think it's really like a balancing act, trying to balance tradition in a modern space. We focus on certain areas such as, the entrance or the window display or even a feature wall where we transform part of it.
It's a smaller operation. No overnight crews, no fancy equipment, just the store team working between customers to transform the space. But a deadline applies to them all the same.
It's literally 25th December, right after midnight.
On the other end, a neighborhood supermarket is facing the same time crunch. FairPrice, Singapore's largest supermarket chain with a network of over 160 outlets across the island. FairPrice serves neighborhoods, everyday essentials, everyday customers. But the Lunar New Year changeover is just as essential. Visual merchandising manager Sabrina Ng and her team don't just handle one store, they'll need to transform 4 outlets tonight alone.
Basically, as a visual merchandiser, we see through from conceptualization to execution, the festive decoration for the store, and we also want to provide our shoppers with a very consistent experience, and so that they can enjoy the festive vibes from online to offline. So tonight we are here at Thomson Plaza. We're going to transition Christmas to Chinese New Year. Execution itself, like you can see tonight, basically we have to do it like within 1 or 2 hours.
The work can only start after hours to ensure minimal disturbances to shoppers.
Start off by removing the products first. Then thereafter, we will set the structures in place. Then we will start to put up the CNY products as well as the graphical elements.
Okay, that's clear.
Sabrina and her team will do this night after night, racing against the clock. 2 hours per store, 4 stores per night, until all stores are Lunar New Year ready.
Because we have a network of over 160 stores, so scale is something that is very significant to us. Within a week, right, we will separate it between our vendors and ourselves. We will target the key stores that are within the network from my vendor. They'll be taking up the rest of the stores. So we are looking at like say 4 to 6 stores per day. Typically, it can start from like 10 p.m. right up through to 6 a.m.
2 teams are working simultaneously. Sabrina's team is rebuilding the pop-up display with festive snacks and Lunar New Year essentials curated for shoppers. Overhead, a vendor team is installing the hanging elements. A staggering amount of 5,000 meters of flower garlands has to be put up across all of their 160 outlets. Back at Ion Orchard, the Lunar New Year installation begins as well. For this festive season, they're installing over 1,000 meters of fairy lights and arrangements of peonies and cherry blossoms across multiple levels. This can be seen at main entrances, mall corridors, and the underpass from the train station leading into Ion Orchard.
For this year's decorations, we use specialized equipment such as boom lifts to install the fairy lights on Ion Orchard's pillars. On-site challenges can include electrical adjustments and managing multiple teams across workspaces.
And inevitably, there are last-minute changes.
You see the paint? This one.
Oh, the paint came off.
You have to powder coat again.
Forgot about this. You want to put like the horses in a row? Try the turtle because the turtle has blue that goes with this.
To say Lunar New Year started early for the decorators is an understatement. Months of preparation were put in just for today.
Realistically, we start designing around April or May. Creatively, we are thinking about how to reinterpret traditional symbols into a modern form.
By the time the decorations go up in store, the clothing designs are ready, manufactured and shipped. The store transformation is just the final step. At Thomson Plaza, Sabrina and her team also begin planning half a year in advance. It all starts with a key visual, and this year it's built around every celebration made a little better.
The key visual basically is like a guiding visual that encapsulates the messaging. So from this key visual, we will actually manifest the messaging into like 3D decoration. So we can pick up like, for example, the color accents, the textures, even the messaging itself.
Tough as it may be, by the time the morning comes, the transformation is complete, and a Lunar New Year ready Singapore eagerly waits to greet the first shoppers of the day.
When I come out, wow, so amazing, like decoration.
Feels like festive season here, so I'm just loving it.
My first impression when I walk in is very beautiful, very festive.
I think the flowers and in general is really a nice touch.
The work is never done. After the installations, Mui Hong and her team observe and gather feedback every year to improve the festive decorations.
In the past, festive decorations were primarily more decorative pop-ups. Today, the shoppers are seeking more immersive and more engaging retail environment. So this has led to a more storytelling approach. For 2026 Chinese New Year, our design is rooted in reimagining the traditional symbols such as the flower motif, lantern in the pink, as well as red palette, which signifies the blossoming of new opportunities. So we focus on creating an experiential retail environment, thinking through how a person will encounter the space, walk through it, and how decor will enhance their overall visit.
As you know, right, when you visit supermarket, right, during the festive season, it's basically like a ritual. I'm just proud to be able to create all these sensory experience when they visit the store to create these memories with their families.
Before we know it, we've done this for 10 years now, and every year it gets bigger and better, I hope, and it's taken on a whole new meaning for us now for Chinese New Year.
Months of planning, long nights of installation, hundreds of workers across the city. It's almost magical, like the city simply changed clothes overnight. The best transformations are the ones that feel effortless. And for the teams that made it happen, that's the greatest compliment of all.